Okay. Welcome back to That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Anime Review, episode number 18. This one's basically spoiling the movie that just came out, well, released here. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Scarlet Bonds. That's what I've saw referred to as. I've heard basically one S, the no S there. Yes, a movie that came out in Japan just last year. Now, I heard about this movie a while ago, so I was very much looking forward to seeing here, and I got a chance to see it. I was very impressed with the visual. The movie looked fantastic. The camera work is really good. The dub acting is fantastic. Yeah, pretty much anybody who basically worked in the main series all came back for this movie. As far as I can tell, no change in dub cast. Thank you, Crunchyroll, for doing that. But we do have some new characters here. We have Hiro, though his name is not Hero, it's Hitto. He is voiced, now he is a brand new character in this movie. He is voiced by, if I can get his name here, he is voiced by Jonas Scott. Yes, those of you are familiar with his character from One Piece, Katakuri is in this movie. Yep, that guy. Now, his queen he basically works for, Toa, great name, she's voiced by Karma Lee. Those of you fairy tale fans know her as the voice of Lucy. Yep, the voice of Lucy. Always great to hear Karma Lee. And I think she also is the voice of... Yeah, she's the voice of Sadara from Naruto. Yeah, she's the voice of Sadara. She was also in Soul Eater as the voice of Patty Thompson, obviously. The annoying Azia. Yeah, she is from the Skypiea arc. That's what that character is. Let's see. She was Triple X Hawk as Himawari. Who got, yeah, the main character's love interest. Yep. She is in My Bride is a Mermaid as Lunar and yeah, the rival of the female lead of this series, also the main character. She's the voice of Yuri from Yuri Igen, a couple episodes from Blue Exorcist. That's stuff I've watched anyways. She is the voice of Soul Eater, Sailor Venus. Yep. She was in the Ashik Wars as Fan Uglu. Igzuglu, I think I pronounced her name. Let's see. She's Pixie Bob from My Hero Academia. She was in Seven Deadly Sins, Republic Commandments, as named Gina. And this is only stuff. Oh yeah, she's the voice of Shakti Dragonfeld, pretty much the lead councilwoman from the Monster series. Great character, and well, she's also the one responsible for the current stuff in the current books that weren't adapted for the anime. She's also voiced Adamasuru from Fire Force, Labrakia from Black Clover, and the young version of Vanatos from the Case of Vanatos. And that is pretty much it. Always great to see her. Now, there's a character named Violet in this movie. Now, unlike Toa and Hiro, this woman is a canon character. And you're thinking, really? She is? I thought she'd be in a movie. Nope, she isn't. She's not in a movie. She's actually an emergent character. She's not, basically because she actually made her debut in Volume 11, which has not been adapted for the main anime yet. That might be adapted in maybe Season 3 when the season comes out. Possibly, yes. And there's who's subordinates also in the books, too. So, yeah. This was basically Violet's anime debut in this movie. And she's only there for, like, a few scenes. And basically, they kind of set her up quite interestingly. And also, like in the book, she basically has a history with Diablo, when he was known as Noir, which means black. Alright, movie starts out with Hiro, where he basically is on the run with his ogre group, and all his group are killed by this nameless person, which they never find out who this person is, and apparently the person he deserted from was Claymon. Clayman. Yes, the very same guy who was pretty much the main antagonist of season 2 of the anime, who got killed by Rimuru in the final episode. Yep. Of course, he doesn't know anything about this. And the reason why he deserted it was because his village was attacked by the orcs, the pigmen. Yep, they attacked his village. And he, of course, basically, talking about his village after he got saved by Toa, who actually gave him a name, despite the fact he also calls some of her life, where she's not very powerful physically, but she's a very good person. And her family apparently are very decent people. Yes, who really love their country. And they would do anything to make sure that the people of the country, they love the people so much, they want to see them prosper. Yeah, that's pretty much the way her purpose of a character, Toa. Very beautiful girl, and you could imply by watching the movie that Hiro might have a thing for her, despite the fact he is, they heard him as a Kijin, after he got named, because he didn't have a name before, so he's now a Kijin. It's implied that I think from what I can tell from terms of the anime, that either that they have a thing for each other, in the case of the two of them, I think Toa might have a thing for Hiro because she probably thinks he's quite handsome. And you could imply Hiro is probably feeling the same way toward his very beautiful queen. So they basically have, now you're curious though. You start the movie off, where is Rimuru, you might ask? He doesn't show for about he doesn't show about 10 minutes in the movie, which, okay, I get the fact he's the start of the series, and I do appreciate this particular movie doing something interesting, because we have this brand new character, we're introduced to this movie, and we gotta establish him. And show basically the main character later, which I think is perfectly fine in terms of the film. Yep. And eventually we cut to the Federation, where you see Guild, where he's building a road, something he actually was working on in the main series, which good on the move for remembering the fact he was in charge of building the roads for the Federation. He was still working on the road. Everything seems all hunky, everything all peaceful. We have Shion and Shuna, we're just relaxing with Rimuru. And then all of a sudden, basically, Gil gets attacked by, of course, Hiro. Of course, Gil does kind of recognize him because maybe he found once before. And then Benny Maru shows up, instantly recognizes him, brother. Yeah, because, I thought these two were actual brothers because they look very similar to each other. The way they explain it is that they're not really related at all. No. Despite the fact some poster I saw says, oh yeah, this guy is Benny Maru's older brother. And you see the movie, that was actually a big fat lie. They're not brothers at all. Basically, he looked at him like a big brother. And he sees that the Kijin from the main series, he sees them again. They do show in the flashback that he apparently grew up with them. They do explain also here of what's going on with his horn. Now, as for the reason why he came to the Jurist Federation, was because it's in the movie that the Queen is basically been trying to cure this lake at near the cost of her life, thanks to the tiara she holds. So, and of course, without the gold that the country has, they can't have any food for their people, so they're really worried. So, why not cultivate the Jura Forest? And of course, they have the whole thing with the Valdor, and of course, they bring out what happened in the series where they kind of mention the cover story for what happened with Rimuru, how he became a demon lord. So, he volunteers to be their representative to negotiate with him for some help for the Queen. And the ministers, who don't like him very much, actually agree to this proposal because this actually is a really good idea. I mean, why not talk to the Jurist Federation? Talk to Rimuru. Not a bad idea. And of course, this is quite hilarious. They bring up Valdor, oh look, there, you're looking for Valdor? He's laying right over there reading some manga, which I think is so hilarious. Yes, because it's Valdor. He's always reading manga a lot of the time when you see him. Yes, that was a. If you watch the series, ever since return, when he's not fighting, he's reading manga. That's what he is because Valdor is a lazy bum. It's so funny. And then here's Malim, Valdor's beautiful niece. Of course, they don't bring it up here, but yeah, Malim is. And of course, like, oh crap, it's Malim. Yep, because I know exactly who she is. And of course, basically, like, they, after apologizing, and of course, Guild, after Benimaru reveals that the orcs and the Heejin have reconciled, like, okay, so the war is over. Okay. So he apologizes for his actions and agrees to, and of course, like, during the course of a conversation, Rimuru suggests basically being the queen herself. And Hira has no problem with that. That's actually a pretty good idea. So, he takes with him, aside from Rimuru and, of course, his noble steed, his dog, along with Shuna, Shion, pretty much all the Kijin in the series, go with him. Gabiru and Gabta are in the movie. Yeah, we see them first. They're the first people we see from the Tempest Invasion, where they're chasing the old man. It's just so funny. Like, they're looking for him, and eventually he basically beats him, and Gabta gets a broken nose for his troubles, which I found to be so hilarious. Yes. Yeah, and of course, then we see Gabiru's beautiful sister. See his smoking hot sister. Yeah, that's something interesting between Benimaru and Gabiru. Both their sisters are hot. Which is no surprising about that. Yeah, and it's also been implied in this series that his sister's got a thing for her boss. The one who in the English dub was voiced by the awesome Ian St. Clair. Yes, the one who member of the group actually is not doing a lot of the series is the one who wears like plain clothes. He's a blacksmith now. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot. Mostly he's there to work with the dwarves. Mostly it's the other characters get a lot to do, and he gets the least to do. And if you're curious, this guy is voiced by Eric Vale. Benimaru is voiced by Rika Fujaro. Yep, so they actually go to the kingdom. What was the name of the kingdom in the movie? Raja. So they go and meet the queen, and of course they see her condition. So basically, Rima just kind of gives her sort of a temporary antidote. Honey! As long as she uses the tiara, she should be perfectly fine. And of course, he purifies the water. Like, oh, you get some honey this? No, not really. He'll take it, no problem. So he proceeds to act like he's Moses by splitting the water in two, walks up to the source, absorbs it with his absorption thing, and then gets fixed, but it gets poisoned again thanks to a guy who shows up randomly in the movie. Yes. You think by his appearance, oh, is he a goblin? No, he isn't. This is Lucia, who is a businessman, who really was working for Violet the whole movie. But thing is, she had no idea what the guy was up to, and he's pretty much the main tag of this movie. And he is working with the doctor. If you're later in the movie, he's actually working with Chuck, who's supposed to be healing the queen. But he's basically been a minor antagonist in the movie. They reveal it later on in the movie. So Diablo is sent to investigate the cause of the cursed tiara, which he finds out it's actually Violet. And after some negotiating, of course, they mentioned about the whole goddess thing. Yeah, it turns out she was the goddess they were talking about, who basically gave the previous queen the tiara in the first place. They mentioned she got like 100 years prior to events of the series, where basically the more to use, the more cursed power goes in the body, and maybe possible host for her. And of course, they fight. And of course, our butler and chief basically told her to stop doing it, and the contract null and void. But her subordinate doesn't know anything about that at all. Nope, keep him in the dark about it. Because she finds what he's doing is idiotic. So, then the queen collapsing, and of course they go back there. and they find out the country that they're attacked by a neighboring country. And it turns out that the soldiers attacking are actually just demons in disguise. Well, the higher ups, anyways. Yep. So then we see Hero take the queen down to this chamber below the castle to supposedly transfer souls. Now, here's the thing. What he's talking about, that he claims, after basically a very good speech, and of course it might save her. Nope, turns out he was lying all along. But the thing he gave me that was actually real. It was I'm going freaking crazy. Now the whole thing of transferring souls, that is a legit spell in the series. He doesn't know it's a legit spell, but it is. It popped up for one character. It's this wizard they captured in the series, who was working for another country, which he was involved with the whole thing with Rimuru becoming a demon lord. Which, by the way, for all this crazy happening later in the movie, they actually have a meeting with them, and of course, then Trini shows up. We're so excited to see Trini. Like, oh, my life is complete because I had to meet Trini. Of course, they meet the Remus, which is so hilarious. The fact that, oh, look, they meet. So it's like, oh, crap, they meet three demon lords and Trini. Which I found the guys to be so much like, oh my gosh, the beautiful Trini. Which, yes, and in case you're curious though, does Jerry Marceri from the main series, does she reprise both movie? Yes. And she's in like 2 or 3 scenes. Doesn't do very much though, which is not surprising. Oh yeah, by the way, when Rimuru first met her, it was kind of revealed he basically really wanted to be a drug in the series, because you know how hot these women are, and it's implied maybe he wanted to sleep with one of them. Yes, a plant woman. Yes, that's Rimuru for you. He has a weird fetish. He also loves elves. Yes, apparently as a screensaver, he has a naked elf on his screensaver. On his screen. And this is what they want to destroy in the pilot episode of the series. Yep. So then they had the big Among Us battle. We actually have Benimar fighting Hero, and of course Rimuru fighting the guy behind this, and we see where throughout the movie he's been like he's like so impatient. So Rimuru fights him, and then of course basically we have this car chase around the live Temple of Doom, where he gets knocked out. Apparently, oh yeah, he can fly. Like, he looked like a goblin. Nope, he's some demon. And of course, after the contract gets canceled, he tries to absorb all the power, and then Rimuru just basically eats him with his storm. Then of course then Hero gets the thing removed from his own body, while Toa gets to him. So he basically stabs himself with his own sword, rips out the thing that was inside of him, breaks it, and then supposedly dies there. And then, of course, basically, you have Toa sacrificing herself to basically revive him. But no, she's not dead, because Violet decides to revive her anyways, because basically of her subordinate's idiot actions. And of course, basically, it's also during the fighting. Apparently, there was a cape full of iron ore, which apparently they had no use for. So, Rimuru offered to buy it from them. Iron ore. Yes, he bought it from them. And like, oh, that'd be enough money to basically build the country, which, yep, that was the whole purpose of it. I'm like, how can he afford this stuff? Maybe all the trade he gets for this stuff. Yep. Let's see. Anything else? Oh yeah, basically, the wolf, he's so funny. He goes big, and of course everyone's like so scared of him. And the whole purpose is because they think that the rumor is because of a thing of gold. Like maybe there's a thing of gold they were looking for. Nope, it was basically to sell this guy's idiot plan to make his mistress basically a corpora form. And of course, basically, Diablo handles her. Then, by the way, before Rimuru left, he left Valdor in charge of Tempest. He comes home, finds basically holes in the ground, because Melee wanted to play a game by fighting with her uncle. So Rimu's punishment for him was to not have any new manga for a bit, and of course he gets knocked out. And then Melee gets dragged away by Faye, who was once again voiced by Elisa Ortiz. Yep. Yes, the Harpy Lady gets to drag Melee away to be sort of punished. And by the way, Frey is basically Malim's subordinate. Yes, she's a former demon lord who retired to become her subordinate. Yep. Yep. And that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. It's an actually excellent movie. One person is another good. I really enjoyed this because I watched the main series. So I found this movie to be pure fun. Good story. I love the two new characters they introduced here, Toa and Hiro. Great characters. I kind of wish these two were canon in the series because even if these two aren't original, but hey, at least it's good. And the fact also, this movie is set after season 2, but it's not. I heard that they were not going to have anything the light novels. This is going to be completely original, but I could definitely see this movie fitted between. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see if we can find it here. Let's see. Between possibly like 6 and 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see him doing that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this particular review. Next up is going to be One Piece, okay? And it's going to be Comic Con. I thought I'd have time to do Boruto tonight, but that's not going to be the case tonight. It looks like we do this bunch of anime tomorrow. Okay, next video. Bye.